question, it seems like this water are kind of like the SEC versus Wall Street. You know, they're kind of underfunded, but they're not perfect. But if they weren't there, and if Wall Street was like allowed to regularly sell, obviously, you know, they would not do that. But can you, like, how do they get funded? Is it like the SEC has a lot of conflicts of interest with like the big banks? You know, do the board of USADA or WADA, are they ever involved in like sports entities or government agencies? Is there any conflict of interest? And then my second question would be, did you ever talk to a dirty athlete? And I'm pretty interested in what the executives of these sports agencies and teams, what they knew. Did they ever say, you know, not the Olympic athletes, but the professional athletes, did they ever, you know, say, hey, you know, of course they knew, but they didn't say anything? Like, did you ever talk to a professional athlete that was dirty?
Yes. To answer that question first, I spoke to a very well-known athlete who has been busted for doping, who appears in the film by way of archival footage. We were going to shoot an interview with him, and then he backed out last minute. I did go to his house. I spoke to him. The conversation was off the record, but in general terms, I think the idea of the conversation was, well, hey, everybody else was doing it, so in order to keep up, I had to do it too. And yeah, of course, the powers that be in the organization knew it, and the sponsors knew it, because they were kind of turning a blind eye because they were making money hand over fist when I was playing. So yeah, and again, that's kind of what my point was. Not, of course, the athlete's wrong for breaking the rules, but there's a bigger organization, especially when money is being made, that these people. It's like most other, you know. You can compare it to Wall Street, insider trading, immigration. I mean, if you start at the top, I mean, it's kind of a debate of what's the most effective way to solve the problem, right? And you know, I think you don't just go after the low-hanging fruit, which are the athletes who get caught, but I think you also have to go after the people who are making money off these athletes too, that clearly know this is going on.
It's structural.
Right. As far as WADA goes, quite simply, their annual budget comes from half from the IOC. They pay about $13 million a year. The other half comes from individual countries in the Olympic movement. And I think the proportionality is based on how many athletes they have participating in the Olympic movement. So, you know, Russia. So Russia's a good example. I would say they're one of the biggest countries to put into the WADA. Is also been found to be the biggest violator. So yeah, there is that conflict of interest where they're paying money. Because Russia could very well say, you know what, you know, we don't need WADA, we're going to, you know, stop writing you a check for $1 million every year. You know, but so yeah, that's the issue. That's, I think, a conflict of interest issue from the WADA level, is that it's these countries in the Olympic movement that are kind of paying the bills. From the smaller, kind of country by country, the national anti-doping organizations, you know, USADA receives roughly, you know, $11 to $12 million now. Last I checked, I think it's kind of on a scale going up towards $17 million from the U.S. government. And Jamaica, which is one of the case studies in the film.
Two people.
Not only were they underfunded, but yeah, that was actually, in some of these countries, the anti-doping agency is a department within the government. So it's not like the USOC and USADA in the United States, which are independent nonprofits. In countries like Jamaica, you know, JADCO is a government agency, so those are political appointees. So again, you have to ask yourself, in a developing country like Jamaica that has enough kind of structural problems, are they going to kind of siphon off money to you know, investigators around their star athletes? And yeah, some people would say, like Travis Tiger says, well, that's the kind of price if you want to compete on that stage, you kind of have to. But just from kind of a rational logic standpoint, it's kind of understandable to see why there'd be